Hello, we're back with Scott McCain, the President of Senate.
How's it going? How are we doing today?
Good. So, Scott, please tell us a bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello again. My name is Scott McCain. I'm the President of the Senate for the Undergraduate Student Government here at IUPUI. It essentially means I'm the President of the Legislative Branch.
So, please tell us about USG. What is it?
So USG, obviously, it's the Undergraduate Student Government here at IUPUI. It's a way for collective students can come, address their concerns in a safe space, where they can feel like they're heard, not only by IUPUI administration, but also as, by other students. So yes, it is a bunch of collective students, coming to address their concerns, but all those concerns are going to the right offices. For example, we have students complain about parking, so we bring in IUPUI Parking and Transportation Services to Senate, and we put them on the spot. We ask them questions. Just things like that. That's the platform USG has.
So how does USG work?
So how USG works, we have 3 different branches, very similar to how the United States government functions. The 3 different branches, we have the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch. The executive branch is going to be composed of your student body and student body vice president, as well as their cabinet. So this year we'll have a student body president, student body vice president, a treasurer, a secretary, a director of communications, and a director of initiatives. We're going to be moving to the next branch, which is going to be the judicial branch, which is compiled of the Supreme Court, obviously. It's a group of justices, which those justices are made up of undergraduate as well as graduate students here at IUPUI. And then finally, our third branch is going to be the legislative, which is my favorite. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm the president of that. But the legislative branch is made up of senators, and it's also made up of a Senate secretary and a president of Senate. So now all those positions compile, all of the senators, and to become a senator within the legislative branch, you join a student organization here at campus. Every RSO, registered student organization at campus, has a position called a senator position, a USG senator position. And you run for that when you run for your executive board. And once you get that position, you get to come see my lovely face every single Friday from noon to 2, Kelly School Business BS 2000. We're in there and, we're really asking the tough questions, to the faculty and administration, say, hey, this is a problem. And as senators, we think that, this needs to be changed. That's why, when we talk about that, we have this idea of legislation as well. We have an amendment to a constitution. We can pass a bill. We can have a funding request for organizations to come to USG and say, hey, we're hosting this event and we need some money. So you come out to USG and you get some money for that. We also have a resolution. Those all of those different types of legislation. I know I don't want to bore all of you, too much, but I will say that, if you see a problem, you see that, hey, this is happening at IUPUI and it's something that we need to change. You can come to USG. You come out on Fridays and you can say, hey, this is what I want to address and I want this concern. You sit down with a senator. You sit down with a member of the oversight committee. You can sit down with a member of the initiatives committee and you can say, hey, I want to write a piece of resolution that changes this on campus. We'll say, perfect, let's do it. I'm so excited. That's what I get paid for. They sit down and they knock this out. And, next thing you know, it gets passed in USG. And the student body president is going to that respective office and slapping that on the desk of their, that person. And I think that right there is what I love about democracy. All these students, we're just functioning at, 29,000 kids here at IUPUI, undergrad and grad. That's a lot of students.
That's a lot of students.
That's a lot of students to have. And just to think about, we have less than 100 students in our Senate. And every student organization has the capacity to send a senator. In my ideal world, we have 497 senators showing up to USG. 497 opinions, 497 voices. That's exactly what one of these days.
We'll have to rent out the soccer stadium.
I hope that we have to rent out the entire freaking campus center to have a Senate meeting on Friday. And I know that's a dream, but honestly, if I could have one thing in this world, that's one thing I would ask for, is to have almost 500 students come out every single Friday and say, hey, Scott, this is a problem and I want to address this. And I want to write a resolution right now that changes this.
What makes USG so significant to IUPUI?
it's that channel, it's that one highway that students have to faculty and staff. Like I said, not every student can meet with Dean Spratt. Not every student can, go and walk in on Dr. Weldy's office, the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. This platform that we have, we have the ability to reach out and, connect with those administration. And, I think that the most significant thing we can have is when students come to us, when students say, hey, student government, we have a problem. I want you to address it right now. And that's something that we do. So I think it's very significant.
Can you talk about some of the legislation that you've seen pass this academic year?
We've had a bill come through, which is the Director of Initiatives, Joshua Bell, and we've been, congratulating him. We've already been talking about it. What that is, it provides menstrual products on campus. I identify he, him, his, and I have never had to buy any kind of menstrual products. Some people come up to me and say, hey, this is how much it costs. It blows my mind.
Did you know that tampons are taxed as a luxury item?
I did know that. And
the only
reason I did know that is because of legislation that comes through Senate. And USG is funding this. We're backing this. We're spending thousands of dollars on this, and we're putting them out on campus. Because, that is a problem here at IUPUI. We have all of this funding and all of this access, but we have students struggling, on a daily basis. And, I think, one less thing that they have to worry about is a job well done for the student government. And I will always say that. So that's one thing. Another thing, we've also been working on, reducing the plastic on campus. This bill essentially we'll be getting thousands of reusable bags and giving them out to students so that we can stop using plastic bags. Some other things as well. I don't want to spoil everything because I honestly want so much interest that people come out to these Senate meetings and say, I'm biting my nails because I want to know what's going on.
I'm very excited for this resolution to pass. I've stopped using plastic bags at the campus center.
That's awesome.
Wait a second, I can fit this in my backpack.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It's being a senator has changed my opinion on what you can do, because when you're in high school, unless you start a major school-wide protest, you don't get anything done. There's nothing you can do about there's nothing you can do about things that you don't like. Mm-hmm. But here on campus, on a college campus, especially IUPUI, you get the chance to say, hey, I have an issue with these things, and I want them fixed. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, exactly.
It's very exciting.
Exactly.
So how did you get started with USG?
I'm only a sophomore, and it feels like I've been a part of USG for years because of, just the amount of, stuff that, we've been dealing with, recently. But yonder back 1 year ago. Yonder back 1 year ago. I used to be a part of the mock trial team here at IUPUI, and I ran as their USG senator, and I quickly thought, hey, USG is more than just an organization to me, and I'm willing to put some more time into this. So after that, I decided to run for the oversight committee. So that's what I used to do, and I was on that. And then fast forward to December. The then Senate Secretary had to leave office. She got an amazing internship at the State House, so she had to leave office, and I stepped in as the Senate Secretary. So I was appointed.
Just moving right up that chain.
So I was
Very
appointed.
fast.
I was appointed to the Senate Secretary position, and then April comes by, and the President of Senate application comes out, and I think, the President of Senate, wow, you're leading the entire branch. You make an agenda on Tuesday. Every single Friday, you come out and lead a meeting for 2 hours with some of the greatest group of individuals who actually just want to change things about IUPUI. So running for POS, it was a tough election. We did have a really good debate. It was close. I did not win by a landslide by far. It was a close election. Being put in this position, having senators confident and that I can lead them, is one of the best feelings that you can have. So that kind of almost 1 year later, and I'm here as your 2018-2019 President of the Senate. So
would you do it again?
Would I run for POS again?
Not like this upcoming year, but like if you had the when they say, would you do it all again?
Would you do it all again?
Would you?
I would.
You would?
I would. At the end of the day, I would run again if someone said, hey, let's go back to April 2018 and let's see what you do. But just for everyone does know, I am not seeking re-election for next year.
Darn, I can't write you in.
No, can't write me in. I am.
If you could change any one thing on campus right now, what would it be?
Parking.
What would you do?
IUPUI parking. And I will put my foot on that. I will put every single
If you could do anything, like you don't need to get it zoned, you don't need to get it paved, what would you do? If you could just pop what Band-Aid would you apply to IUPUI parking?
Parking garages.
Just
2
more?
words. Parking garages.
More?
Additional parking
Where would
garages.
you put it if it was like a Sims world and you could just move stuff around? Where would you put the McCain garage?
Yes, the McCain garage. Yes, the McCain garage. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We're in the IT building right now, and what's right across the street? A paved parking lot. And I don't know how many spots are out there, but
So you would change that employee parking lot to a full garage?
A full garage.
Hey, I'm behind you.
A full garage.
You put that in, I'll vote for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand, we're putting a multidisciplinary building there right now. So, there's a whole new building going in. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard that at the meeting.
Yeah,
yes.
At the Senate. Yeah, exactly. Another reason to come out and Senate, you hear stuff like that. We're adding all these buildings. We're adding all these spaces. Where are students going to park?
That's true.
Where are we going to park at? And I'm not going to lie. Everyone, they say Gateway is brand new. Gateway doesn't get full. Lies. Gateway gets full. That is a lie, and I will always stand behind that. It gets full, and there's all of these things that you can say, that you can do, but at the end of the day,
they're just excuses.
Well, we have students, coming out there. We need some things, say if funding wasn't a problem, if we had the budget, if we didn't have to deal with the zoning issue, I would say, what's wrong with building another garage? Let's build another one so students can park. And I honestly, right now, and I'm going to take my title away, just as Scott McCain, I am going to say parking is an issue. It is an issue. And if I could change one thing, if I could say one thing right now, and that is I wish I could change parking and put additional spaces on campus.
Well, it's a good cause. And do you have anything else to say? Anything you want to add?
I
tell people?
Yeah, I would love to say, please get involved. Get involved, whether that be with USG, whether that be with, in any kind of academic organization, any kind of student organization. Just get involved with something. Get involved with IUPUI students. In my personal opinion, I'm involved in, between you and me, I'm involved in too many organizations. And just to say, honestly, I am very busy all the time, but I would not change one thing, because all these organizations make me not only a better student, but a better person in general. And when I graduate, hopefully, but when I graduate, from IUPUI, and I continue my life, I will look back on all these organizations that I was a part of, that I led, and I think you will as well. I think you'll look back and say, we did this, when I was in my undergraduate career.
I'm hoping I can look back on the other
exactly.
We did this.
Yeah, you can look back
recorded
on
one for once.
These Jagcast episodes, but if I could just say one thing, to all IUPUI students is, get involved. Get involved some way.